Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded, and they shall be as nothing. And they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek thee, and shall not find thee. Even them that contended with thee, they that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, the Lord thy God, will hold your right hand, saying unto thee, I will help you. And as I passest through the water, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. And when thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flames kindle upon thee, because I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel. Now, guys, there's a reason why I quoted that biblical scripture when it pertains to this video. Okay, there's a reason why I did that. Okay, but I almost want to get you guys in the comment section to tell me, why do you think I quoted that scripture? That particular biblical scripture, why would I quote that? Okay, and you can tell me in the comment section. But this biblical scripture applies to what I'm going to talk about. On the screen, you see Darnell Jones Jr., okay? This is the young man who killed 3 of his classmates at the University of Virginia. He shot him in point-blank range, murdered him, brutally murdered him. But, you know, this young man was the consummate victim of bullying, hazing, effing with him. This young man was a consummate victim of bullying 24/7. Wow. He was bullied by the 3 gentlemen that he murdered. Okay? Now, you know, you got to understand something. You know, I don't condone what this guy did, okay? Because what he did, you know, he's going to go into a whole nother system. He's going to go into a whole nother system where he's just going to be bullied even more when he gets to prison. And he's going to have to survive. He got to survive in prison. In prison, well, that's the biggest bullying system out there. Just is what it is. Okay? He's going to have to survive in that system. So his situation, he solved one problem, but he created a whole nother problem. But this guy, I understand why he did what he did. It don't excuse it, but I understand why he did it. This guy was getting bullied in elementary school. He was getting bullied in middle school. He got bullied in high school. And you think, you know, hey, you know, me being a college student, me being a young adult on my own, away from my parents. You know, in his mind, he was probably thinking, you know, dang, okay, well, I can finally escape these bullies. I can finally escape them. No, because brand new bullies, they showed their rear their ugly head, and they started bullying this guy again in college. They started making fun of him, picking on him, hazing him to death. Yeah. And maybe some people, they give off energy. That energy that they can be easily bullied. Maybe some people give off that kind of energy. Maybe this guy, Darnell Jones Jr., gives off that kind of energy. It don't matter what kind of energy he gives off. You know, he don't deserve to be bullied. Nobody deserves to be bullied and hazed and teased. And, you know, because I always tell y'all, and I made a video, guys, and it's crazy, I made a video 2 weeks before this happened. And I gave y'all personality characteristics of people who shoot schools up. This guy right here fits every single one of those personality traits. He fits them all. Every last one of them. And see, I'm going to tell you something. The guys that was bullying this kid, they learned a lesson. They learned a lesson right before they were about to die. They realized that shit got really, really real. They realized that it got real. And they understood that it was real, but see, it was too late for these guys to learn from their mistakes because they were murdered. Had these guys survived, had they would have survived, they probably would have learned from their mistakes and never done it again. Now, you know, short term, no, is anybody going to bully this guy? Not at the University of Virginia, but they will in prison. You see, this guy was a consummate victim. And see, people who are bullied, You know that most of these people, and I gave y'all a number, I even said 9 out of 10, that most of them, they want to see the people who bully them, they want to see them dead. They want to see these people dead. Folks, it's a fact. You ask any person who's been bullied by somebody for a long period of time, and if you ask them, hey, what would you want to see happen to them? They'll tell you, I don't care if they die. I've had a lot of little kids who are being bullied by other kids tell me, I hope they die. Because at some point in time, you get really sick and tired of being sick and tired. You get tired of every day you come out of your house, somebody hazing you, somebody saying something to you, somebody making fun of you. Okay, like somebody is just there to make your life a living hell. And you are the brunt of all of their jokes, all of their hazing, all of their teasing you. I mean, can you imagine? And then, do you know that every single one of these people who shot up schools, they were extreme victims of bullying. I'm talking about to the point where these people were humiliated day in and day out. And they couldn't take no more. They mentally snapped. This guy right here, he mentally snapped. You know, most of the people that were school shooters, you know, these were actually normal kids, well-behaved kids. These kids, most of them never had a behavior problem in their life. But see, the power of bullying is very strong, ladies and gentlemen. That power is strong. It's so strong. Because that's the only form of abuse that really and truly you can get away with. Bullying is a form of mental abuse. And it need to be lost, because you've had kids that they've killed themselves over the way that they've been treated by other kids, like just being bullied to the point that they can't take it no more. And they take their own life and they don't want to be here anymore. And do you know that many kids, many people who are bullied, do you know that they have thoughts and wondering of how people would perceive them if they died? Like, they have thoughts. They have these thoughts in their head, and they wonder if people would miss them if they were gone. Guys, I'm telling y'all the uncompromised truth about bullies. People who are bullied, they have thoughts in their head, and they wonder if people would truly miss them if they were actually not here on earth. And some people who are bullied, they want to murder the people that are doing it to them. These people are triggered. But most of the people, guys, when you do background on these people were good people. They were good people that they got pushed to the limit. It was too much. It was just too much. And I'm not condoning what these people do, these school shooters. I don't condone it. Because I think that's just the bad way of handling your problems. It's a bad way. And you think, Coach, well, what else could they have done? It's other things that they could have did besides killing, okay? It's other things they could have did besides killing. You know, I even wish the anti-bullying laws, like you press charges against somebody. Even if it don't do anything, you keep pressing charges against them until it stops. Or whatever happened to just hand-to-hand combat? Like, whatever happened there? Whatever happened to just good old-fashioned hand-to-hand combat? What happened? Yeah, folks, you know, I think people just go to guns too soon. But I kind of know what drove this guy to it. I know that these guys, they drove him to it. These guys are not just innocent people he just shot, okay? He didn't just take his gun and start shooting people. That's not what happened. But the news would have you believe that this is what happened. This guy lost his damn mind and just started shooting people on the bus. No, he shot 3 people, and he shot 3 specific people. Oh, he was real specific who he shot. He was extremely specific who he shot. And he shot the people who were bullying him, making his life a living hell. And some of the parents of the people who got shot, well, they playing victim. Well, parents, look, I can't let y'all off the hook because you had a part to play in this. You had a part to play in this. You played a role. You did. Because see, bullies, they give out telltale signs. And in another video, I'm going to make a video for parents that if you really truly want to know if your kids are really like bullying people and taking people through the ringer, okay, I'm going to create a video. And I'm going to show you guys the telltale signs that your kid is a bully. See, these kids, they give off signs. And see, I can guarantee you that these parents, they've heard this at least twice in their life, that their kids will mess with other people. They probably had teachers call their house and say that your son and your daughter, oh, these three guys, they disruptive. They being disruptive, okay? They making fun of other people. Guys, once a bully, always a bully. A person just don't wake up and become a bully. See, there are things that's got to happen for a person to actually start getting to the point where they messing with people, where they really, 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 really messing with people, where they at that point where they got somebody ready to take lives. There's something to it. And them three guys, they didn't just get up that morning and this guy just all of a sudden just said, I'm gonna kill him. Nah, they played a role in their death. You see, what they did is they antagonized this kid and antagonized this guy. And it don't excuse his behavior. Nah, don't excuse his behavior. Then people say words don't hurt. Yeah, they do. Oh, words do hurt. But you antagonize a person and you antagonize them. And it's like you F with them every day of their life. And ain't no way out. Ain't no way out. It's kind of like this guy experienced flight or fight syndrome. Flight or fight syndrome. You're backed into a corner. You're backed in that corner, and you've been backed into the corner, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Guys, I want y'all to understand it. Get this straight. Because millions of kids, every day they go to school and they feel helpless. They feel helpless. If they try to protect themselves and defend themselves, they get the same punishment that the bullies get. They get the exact same punishment for literally not doing anything but standing up for yourself. Okay? But there are millions of kids that go through this every day. And do you know that even hundreds of thousands of students and children and students, that they want to take their own life? Hundreds and thousands of kids. They want to take their lives because they can't deal with the mental abuse anymore. They can't deal with the bullying. They can't deal with what's going down. They can't do it. And they're at a point in their life, they just don't want to live life anymore. And hopefully there's a kid looking at this video right now. Listen, I understand where you at. Don't take your life. Okay, don't take your life. I know it seems bad right now. I know it do. But it's going to get better. Nah, you stand up for yourself. You don't care about how much trouble you get in. You stand up for yourself. And you fight back. Now, we're not telling you to murder anybody. But you fight back. Because every day, if you got to fight every day, and they know that if you're a dog, if it's a dog in you, see, a bully, they ain't going to want to keep fighting. Eventually, they're going to stand down. If they know that they got to fight you tooth and nail every time they see you, they're going to stop. It's going to be okay. The problem is there are not enough laws to protect people who are victims of bullying. It's just not enough laws. And it's not enough being done to the people that continue to do it. It's not enough. This kid on the screen was a victim to himself. He was a victim of being bullied. He was a victim of being hazed. And you got to think, this kid, how long this kid been in school? Most of his life? I mean, he probably, when you start school at 4 or 5, and probably when kids realize that they can really pick on people at 6, and how old was he, 20? So for 14 years of this kid's life, damn near, 14 years, this kid has been hazed. This kid has been bullied, probably been assaulted physically, mentally, verbally. 14 years. Do you think in 14 years that person gonna snap? I mean, do you think they're gonna snap? The answer is yes. That's too much for anybody to endure. It's too much for anybody. And the 3 guys he shot, they were no angels. They were no angels. How about this? Why won't people talk about the fact that these 3 guys, they drove this kid. They drove him insane. Is anybody going to talk about that? They drove this young man insane to the point to where he lost all sense of reality. That don't make what he did right. But this guy lost all sense of reality. And do you know that this guy could have got help? Do you know that this kid could have got the help that he needed? And he told his parents he can't take it no more. And as a parent, when your kid tell you that, you got to go get him treatment. You got to get him treatment, and you have got to intervene. You got to intervene. You can't sit back and say, be tough it out. Because some people, they're not equipped They're not equipped. And sometimes parents, you got to stand in the gap for your kids. You got to stand in the gap. If they being bullied, you got to go take on them bullies. You got to go stand up. Because if the people who messing with your kids know that somebody going to come for them, they going to think twice when they try to bully them. They going to think twice. I told y'all the story. How my own daughter was being bullied. And I told her, I said, look, you better deal with that. You better deal with that. Matter of fact, unload on them. I said, if the same boy come at you again, I said, just unload on him and we'll deal with the 10 days out of school. Okay, we'll deal with that when we get to it. So, boy went over there and grabbed her butt. And she knocked his teeth out, knocked his 2 front teeth out, wailed on him, beat him up. I'm talking about beat him up. Broke 2 of his teeth. Okay, no, knocked 2 of his teeth out, fractured 1 of his ribs. I mean, my daughter beat the hell out of this kid. But you know what? That's fine. They gave her the time out of school, and we sued because they didn't do anything about the sexual assaults and the stuff like. See, they didn't do anything about that. They didn't do it. So it got to the point where my daughter snapped. She snapped, and my daughter had never gotten in trouble at school. Never, until that one time in high school where she snapped on that boy and she beat him down. And my daughter was telling me, Dad, I tried to kill him. I really wanted to because I got sick of him. But see, I know if my own daughter had them thoughts. Could you imagine 14 years of this? 14 years of this. Could you guys imagine that? I'm so serious. Could you truly imagine 14 damn years of being tormented? Eventually, everybody has a breaking point. Everybody. And see, people who are in position to make rules and changes, they don't take bullying serious. You better take it seriously. You better take it seriously because the next school that might get shot up might be your son and your daughter's school. And I blame the parents. Parents, no. You're raising these people. You're the one raising these people. You can say, oh, I wasn't there. I mean, it wasn't me. I didn't know my kid was doing it. See, most kids that have bad behavior that they bully, it stems from the parents. It stems from the parents. If you could take a bird's eye view into a person's house, a kid that bully other kids, if you can take a bird's eye view, you have parents that don't pay them attention. Every single solitary bully that I've ever met in life, they were always the biggest attention seekers. I wonder why that is. Oh, they got parents at home that ain't paying no attention to them. It's amazing how some of this stuff go together. But 3 people didn't have to die that day. Nobody had to die. Now, really, it's 4 people. 4 people gonna die because this kid, he's gonna lose his life in prison. Okay, for this kid right here, this kind of kid, he's not gonna be able to mentally survive being in prison. He ain't gonna be able to do it. He's not gonna be able to do it. Do you think if he had a mental breakdown and if he shot all these people, do you really think he's gonna be mentally stable to handle prison? And I hate to say it, but the worst of the worst, the kid might even take himself out of there. He may take himself out because the problem is that people who shoot up schools and people who kill themselves, they don't have the mechanisms to cope with bullying. They don't have the mechanisms to cope with bullying. I mean, this is a sad, sad thing, man. It's sad. It's sad. But again, did the 3 boys that was messing with this kid, did they really, really, truly, did they learn a lesson? Sure they did. Oh, they learned a lesson. But they're not living. They're no longer living to actually learn from that lesson and to make corrections.